Welcome back to Buzz on Business. Today we're here with John Sikora from Cutting Edge Advantage. John, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, I was in the credit card business for about 5 years, working for a local company in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And I got to a point where I was going around traveling. I actually became their trainer, their corporate trainer.
Oh, okay.
And so I was going through different states and different cities and whatnot. And number one, it burns you out. And number two, you learn a lot of things about the industry. So I took some time off from that, a couple years, and then decided to start Cutting Edge Advantage. And the main reason is because the industry on a whole, you know, without getting negative, there's just a lot of things that go on in the industry that really hurt the small to medium-sized business. Well, the small to medium-sized business makes up, gosh, I think it's somewhere around 44% of the economy. There's almost 33 million businesses, which is 99% of all businesses in the U.S. So my thought was, if I can do this and do it the right way, I can really focus and help the small and medium-sized business.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I used to be a small business owner myself, so I can 100% appreciate that, because I remember it was a family business that I was in, and my dad refused to go to credit cards because of all the fees and all the all the charges and all that stuff.
That's right.
So so I, as a small business owner in the past myself, we appreciate that.
Yeah, and those fees creep up. Sometimes they tell you this is how it's going to be, and it's not that way. And I think the industry realizes that because, and just very quickly, they know that the small and medium-sized business owner wears a lot of hats. And the last thing that they're doing is watching how some of this stuff is being charged and whatnot.
The details
and that's how
their
things
statements.
can creep up on you. Yeah.
So, well, tell us about what Cutting Edge Advantage is. What do we need to know here in the
So
local
we're a
area?
credit card processing company. And the way that I set it up is I actually partnered with, I vetted out some of the best underwriting banks literally in the country. And I obviously found those because I was in it for 5 years.
Yeah.
So what my organization does is we can bring the best pricing, the best solution. We're not just tied to, one solution and here's the pricing and then you move on. So it gives me a lot of flexibility.
Okay.
And we basically have hardly any overhead. So with these banks, I'm partnered with them so that they can take care of everything.
Okay. So when you get a client then, or you get a customer,
yes,
are you able to kind of go to these different banks and get the best rates for them? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what makes you different than other than that.
Okay. So number one is because of the way that I have this set up with them. I mentioned that our overhead is very, very low. So I can take that savings and pass it on to our customers. Okay, so that's number one. Two, a lot of the things that we do is we're able to provide equipment at no cost. A lot of companies do that. A lot of companies say they're going to do that, but it doesn't happen. And another thing that we do is we lock our rates. So when you hear somebody say lock your rates, make sure it's in writing, because again, things start creeping up.
They become variable and all that stuff. So the terminals that you actually provide the businesses, you don't charge for those?
No, they're little wireless terminals. They're awesome. They run on Android software, and we've got all kinds of different ones, but those are my favorite.
Okay.
And so I provide those for free. And if they need more, then we can work something out for that. So
that's actually one of those additional fees that you were talking about that creep up on you, because they don't always tell you that.
That's right.
Or they'll tell you it's going to cost you this, and all of a sudden it's a monthly fee, or it's it breaks down. I remember that happening to us.
Yeah.
It broke down, and then you got to pay for the service on it and all that other kind of stuff.
That's right.
So
yeah, and one of the last things I think that's important is, one of the commitments that we made, and we're blessed to be able to do this, is 30% of our residuals that we make, our company makes in Medina County. So any businesses in Medina County that allow us to service their account, we donate that, or going to be donating that to the nonprofits within Medina County.
Oh, okay.
It's our way of trying to get back to the community. I was brought up that you should always impact your community in a positive way, give back and impact people in a positive way, however you're interacting with them.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So have you identified a nonprofit?
So we've identified a couple of them, but we're still doing research on those, and I'm going to be reaching out to them to let them know. One of my first ones is Feeding Medina County.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good. And I'd be remiss to not mention that you also become a chamber partner.
That's correct.
So can you tell us a little bit about that program for chamber members and for new chamber members?
Yeah, so what we're doing, part of it is what I just mentioned about giving back to the nonprofits.
The nonprofits,
okay.
right. Mm-hmm.
Well, if I come across a business in Medina County that is not part of the chamber, then Cutting Edge Advantage will pay for their first year's membership to introduce them to the chamber. And the reason I'm doing this, and I got to be frank with you, the chamber, I've been in multiple chambers before, and this is really the one that has just embraced and makes things happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's absolutely wonderful. Debbie is outstanding. The board's outstanding. I've been to some events, and it's just, it feels good, it feels right, and it's absolutely great for our business.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that because we've come a long way with the chamber. I will tell you that. So I'm glad to hear that you're getting some business out of it and you're making some connections and networking.
And everybody's helping everybody. So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, John, for being with us.
Sure.
So we'll be right back with the Buzz on Business. Thank you.
It was a different time when I served. I felt confident in the work I did.
But when I came home, I felt lost.
When I retired and had all this time on my hands, lots of bad memories came back.
Whatever you're dealing with, there's someone to help.
If you're going through a rough time or having suicidal thoughts, call the Veterans Crisis Line.